Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. So yeah, it's been a long time since you saw my face. Yeah, I know that. Sorry about that. Anyway, today I have with me someone special. I'm going to let her introduce herself. And the vibe, we're talking about immigrant life in Germany. So today we have someone with us. So let's give the mic over to her. Hi Esther.
Hi, Kelechi.
Hey,
Nice to be here.
nice to have
Thank
you
you for
here.
having Thank you for having me. So my name is Esther. I'm a nurse. We're currently practicing in Germany. I've been practicing for the last 5.5 years or 5 years. I should say. Yeah,
Nice.
immigrant living. I didn't train here, so
Oh,
I'm very
oh,
outside. I'm very international.
oh, hold on. Before we even get to that part, when did you come into Germany? And did you come in
so,
solely? Wait, did you come in solely for like you applied you applied for a job here and stuff? And when did you come in and all that?
so I moved in 2018 and I came directly to work. So I had
Mm-hmm.
already finished a bachelor's degree in South America at the time. I've done a basic nursing school degree, nursing school but diploma in
Mm.
Nigeria. So I came directly to work. There was no school plan at the time I was coming.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
So you applied directly from South America and you got an offer?
Because of the way it works, you don't get to get an offer if you don't have a good command of German. So I had
That's
to
another
come
thing.
first with a language visa to learn the language,
That's what
and
I
then
wanted
after
to hear.
learning the language, I now applied to find a job. I started looking
That's
for
what I
jobs.
wanted to hear. Okay, because I know that back then it was a thing to come to Germany with the language visa, but not anymore. That doesn't happen anymore.
I don't know why. That was a good offer.
That was a very good offer at the time, and a lot of people. I also mine was not necessarily language, but it was like a bachelor's degree that the prerequisite was for me to know the language. So I had to come into Germany to learn this language before starting the program. So you can also call it language visa, but yeah, that's by the way. So what were the most significant trials that you faced when you first arrived in Germany as an immigrant, and how did you go about trying to overcome them?
Mm. I think for me, yeah, I think the first one was the language. The first one was the language. That was the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
I think we underestimate how important it is for you to understand who you're talking to. So that was a big one. It was a big one. I couldn't understand anything around me, and I'm a communicative person. So if I'm
Mm-hmm.
not able to understand what's happening around me, I felt like I was lost. That was one big deal. Another one was probably community because there was nobody. I don't know. It
But you
felt
have
like for a
family here
while.
now. You have family here.
You know my brother. If you know his person, you will know that you have him, but you really, really do not have him.
Oh my
you
goodness.
know,
And you guys are not in the same city. You're
we
not
are
in the
not.
same.
Even though I appreciate it. I like that we're not in the same city. It's important that we are finding ourselves for ourselves without
Yeah.
having to interrupt each other's lives because we are very dominant people, both of us.
Mm.
But on the other hand, he's not really that you have somebody. Like I remember the day he brought me to Germany. He brought me to my city. The next day he was out. He wasn't about to help me find anything, know anything. It was just like
But he helped you
you
find an
have.
apartment.
We already had an apartment from the language school, so the language school
Ooh,
helped me arrange an apartment already.
Germany used to be good though. What happened?
They already helped me arrange an apartment already that I was paying for. So he
Okay.
just came, saw the apartment, bought me a duvet, bought me pillow,
Oh.
uh, bought me winter shoes and a winter jacket,
And
everything
you
in
came
one
in
night.
winter. Oh.
The next day, I came in January. The next day he was gone, and I had to figure it out.
You figure life on your own.
I tell
And
you.
and at the time, like, did you see other people in the school that were immigrants as well that you tried to bond with? Maybe immigrants, generally Africans or Asians. Did you see any sort?
There were there were other it was a language school, so most of the people there were immigrants. But if they see their personalities, and I feel like every personality needs to be spoken for. It's not everybody that knows how to just go outside and make friends.
Yeah, true
I
that.
really I really don't know how to do it. Like I don't just go and make random friends. I just feel like people are weird. So I don't
Yeah.
because I know I'm super weird myself. So I don't just know how to do it. You have to
Mm.
be a certain way for me to now be able to be friendly with, like
Approach
I'm very
you. Yeah.
selective. I'm very super selective. So it was difficult to do that. And then being a country that doesn't really encourage you to even have friends, it was now super, 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 super difficult.
I can
So
imagine.
yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was just the language thing for you and the community for you ab initio, like your
Yeah, it was
main family.
mostly
How then did you come about finding your people, finding your tribe, your community, and all of that?
uh first things first was then I had a friend in my life who is late now. But then he was the first reason why I started meeting people. So he would take me to like school event, like when students were having
Mhm.
their events, like African students were having an event, he would take me there. He would just
Um,
be showing me people. I would never made any of them friends to date, but that was a huge eye opener for me. At least it was taking me out, trying to tell me communicate with people, meet people.
meet
So I tried
people.
that, and I think the last place he took me to was the church I now attend, and that was now I stayed. So even though
Okay.
I wasn't necessarily enjoying the kind of community I used to have coming from
Mhm.
South America, where everybody
Mhm.
was ruler and party and all of
Yeah.
that, at least I had something. I
Mm.
just had some, yeah, going on.
Very important. So I'm very sure that everybody had that, and I'm sure you're not exempted, had that first culture shock. Like, I mean, besides the language right now and what you just mentioned regarding not having a community. So what were like your boom major culture shocks, and how were you able to manage these and adapt to the general, social norms and outside as a daily life in Germany?
Yeah, yeah. I think one culture shock I think a lot of people don't talk a lot about is the feeling the feeling of feeling lost. It shocked
Yeah.
me because I came to a country where I felt like I was one in 7 billion people, and the community didn't recognize you. So you could be walking down the street and you're like a ghost because nobody's really turning around to see if there's somebody, nobody's saying hello. Somebody can match you and pass. Like you're not just matched.
Yeah.
So you start feeling like it's either I'm invisible or there's a problem. So
Yeah.
that really shocked me. I felt like the people were not very they don't know how to recognize people. They don't know how
Mm,
to live around people. I
mm.
don't have to be a friend for you to say hello when I pass or even answer my own hello or not stare at me. Why are you staring at me like I'm a monument? I'm human. If you want to talk, just talk. Don't the whole time. What's that?
Oh, that one, till today, there are some places that you go to, you get that same reaction, especially in East Germany. Yes, it's still a thing. Like, some people don't even know that. Like, there was this place I went to last weekend.
Mm.
It's farther north, not semi north, far, like in East here, close to Poland.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a small village. And then I met some people, though they were friendly, they said hi, but it was looking like never seen a black, not like you've never seen a black person, but like a black person in this community. What are you looking for here? That kind of, that was exactly how I interpreted that look, right? Like, it most of us felt like if you were there, it's going to take a while for them to like warm up to you. And though the person smiled and passed with a little girl and everything, but then I was like, if you're coming to live in this type of place, you need to, as in, you find that thing that you're looking for, you understand? So generally, I can relate to what you're talking about with regards to feeling unseen sometimes. Even though you get the stares, being stared at is not being seen. Like, it's not being recognized as a matter of fact. But yeah, I totally agree with you. So was that like the only major shock you had?
I think that's the most major one. Except from then, if you now hang on racism to it, you hang on the food. I But then I was coming from another country that wasn't Nigeria anyway,
Mm.
so I think I adapted to that one quickly because now I knew how to handle being in a new place where I don't have the food
But
I'm used to.
now that you mentioned racism, did you encounter any such thing?
Yo, my sister.
Really? Tell me about it.
About to this year, I had another event. Like
What
the
happened?
worst I've had is actually this year.
What happened?
This year that I'm even speaking good German. I think I got into a bus. I was in East Germany. I went to
In
visit a
this
friend,
journey.
and then I wasn't used. So in my city, I live like in a university city. So because of it, the buses here don't expect you to show them your ticket when you get on the bus because there are lots of people coming in. You're wasting time. Ticket. So I wasn't used to it. So I went to go and see this person in their East Germany. I had to enter a bus. I didn't remember on time. Before I could open it, the guy started to open my ticket. So I was traveling ICE the same day. It was my IC ticket that was open. I just showed him like this. He now said you should see it very well. And I check, I said, no, this is not even the ticket you should see. Let me show you the one you should scan because this other one is IC. This guy stood up, came out of the bus driving seat, came and started telling me I should show him the ticket. Now I shot, I should get down. I should get down. I'm like, I just need to sit down, drop, because I'm traveling. I had a travel bag. I'm like, let me drop my bag and show you the thing. This guy kept on doing it, and it wasn't on my phone, so I had to go and get it from my bag. I finally showed him. He said I should walk to the front and go and scan it to make sure it's working. The bus was full. Oh. I respect myself. I said, let's not be as if I'm the immigrant and I say, well, I went to the front, scanned, the thing was talking, did I say okay? I said, do you know my sister? This guy drove one stop to the last stop at the Bahnhof. This guy stopped and told me and the other black guy inside the bus to get down, that he's not driving anymore.
Yes. Are you serious? I'm praying. He hadn't gotten to the final stop, which was the Hopper.
Yes.
And he told you people to come down. There were other people in the bus.
There was another white guy. There were just 3 of us in the bus, a young white guy and me and the other black guy.
And he
told both of you. He said 2 of you. He said 2 of you. From, you know how he's driving and he's seeing a window. There's a window that reflects the boat.
Yeah.
He was at us the whole time he was driving. I was just with the black person because this is the person I came to see. The next thing I just heard is 2 of you. He parked, turned around, 2 of us get down. I'm like,
I've heard this one before. Oh, but wait, I even have a similar experience, but mine is different, kind of. Like what happened, I won't call it different. Let me now just early mama. Those days when we were working as students, now I was working in the Decathlon. I had an appointment. I had my morning shift. I was really hungry that morning for some reason. I grabbed brötchen baguette from the Bahnhof. I was now munching on the kidney inside bus, something that people used to do. Even though they write no eating and everything. But come on, people do it. And I was like doing it on food. I don't know, this man was watching me from his window early morning. Take notes, after 5 a.m. It was still dark. But he was able to pinpoint that black girl behind. Brother came and told me that I should leave the bus. No, I should stop eating what I was eating or something. I was like, okay, Alice. I was like, I'm hungry. Like, he doesn't care. She should stop eating it. That the instruction says no eating in the train. In the bus. So I locked up. I was like, okay, fine. So my bad, when I felt he turned, I took another bite. And then I think this man was watching me. But I packed his car. It wasn't time for him to move yet though. This man packed his car. Said that he's not going anywhere until I step out of the car. I'm not going anywhere. In Quechiri, I was there. People were coming to tell me, other blacks that were working with me to Decathlon, Amazon, they were like, sister, you want? I said, don't talk to me. That's how this man was wasting time, almost 30 minutes. How people still leaving the bus to go and look for the next connection, because it's not this girl that will waste our time. That day, I wanted to be stubborn. Like, I was like, why would you? This is not something that is that serious, for goodness sake. Like, you don't have
it's really not that serious. Like
even just ignore it. Baba refused though. Right. Other bus people came, like his fellow bus drivers came. They're like asking him, "What the man?" I was sitting there. I felt like I started explaining to my she's like that this will happen, that will happen. But you will not make me leave this bus for what? Eventually, everybody was now leaving to another bus, and I followed them and left. I was like, no wahala. Everybody left. You will not drop me here and carry the rest and go. Because of what? I was just watching. It was just breaking in the morning, for goodness sake. Not when someone is on drugs.
You get, and again, the way I see these things is, right, Germans still have the, I'm sorry to say this, but they still have the mentality. Those people that cause their war, those people, they still have that mentality where they will see a black person being spoken down on and they will not speak for you.
It's not
instead of speaking for you, they will rather dodge.
They will dodge
and look for a way. Exactly. They will rather make themselves uncomfortable other than speak for you and say this is not a big deal, now let's move on. Instead of doing that, they will all leave the bus and be late to work.
I'm telling you, like I was just watching, it was only the black people that came to me and they were like, sister, please. I said, leave me alone. I was already angry that morning. And something about me, when I'm already angry and like that, don't bother talking to me. I'll calm down when I want to calm down. So I was telling him, see, leave me alone, okay? I'm not leaving this. If he has the mind to like make everybody go late, any nigga we'll suffer it together. So eventually, when they were now leaving, I'm like, okay, fine, everybody's leaving, then I'm going to leave. And I looked at the man like, I don't blame you really, but
is it that we write reports why his boss did not move?
Why his boss did not move? But yeah, I mean, I can also really relate to that. But asking you guys to leave was mean. And you guys left now.
all of like we refused until the white guy at the back now left when he realized I was. And those are times I just felt like this country, just forget it. Just don't trust.
Don't put your
I'm sorry
mind
to say,
to it. Don't put
don't
your
put your
mind to
mind.
it. Don't put
Just
your mind. Just let, because also something I also tell people when this topic of racism is brought up is like, look at it from a point of view that even you're coming from a country where they're very tribalistic, right? One tribe doesn't like the other tribe and stuff like that. So take it like it's one of those things. You will even let's even be realistic. Even among us Igbos, we still have these people don't talk to these people don't want to be with it. That's life generally. So
yeah, but our own never really, what they call it, never really expands or comes to the point of watching the other person being killed and be okay with it, or being discriminated and be okay with it. You might not be friends with them. I might not like a certain tribe. For instance, I don't like thief people. I have thief friends that they like, but I might not like thief people. But if, for instance, we're in a place and a guy is shouting as a thief woman and pushing her, we go ask the guy, "What's that?" Do you
yeah.
get? But this will just
Yeah.
be
I
watching you.
think generally I'll just say it has to boil down to the fact that they're not confrontational by nature. Germans are not confrontational. I've noticed that a lot of times. Like you said, they'd rather just walk away and not put mouth in that thing. But for them to come and you won't see them there. You will not see them there. But yeah, that's one of those things. So, can you share some of your most rewarding experiences or your successes, your highlights, high points since moving to Germany, despite the challenges here and there?
Hmm. That's what I want to remember. I actually wrote it down. I don't know. I didn't write it down. I remember I was going to say it.
Okay.
Okay. But I think that will come. I think that will come. Oh, yes. That was okay. Good. So when I started working as a nurse, right,
Mm-hmm.
I moved to a bigger hospital because the place. So how do I explain this properly? So when I came, I got a letter from the Ministry of Health that I needed to do an extra 4 months academic side. So
Mm-hmm.
that's recognition time in order to be able to work as a nurse here.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that letter. I went to this nursing home to go and start, which was my big mistake. On
Mm-hmm.
getting there, because of the letter, it showed that I don't have to be paid. They are not required to pay me. These people decided not to pay me. So I was working for 2 months. They didn't pay me. They didn't give me any kind of remuneration, no pocket money, nothing. I was living off my pockets and as a language school student. So after that 2 months, I went back for them to like sign to say, okay, this girl has finished her, which is at the end it had turned to 4 months. They were supposed to just sign that I finished my my recognition time. The
Mm-hmm.
woman said she's not signing that. She come back for another 2 weeks. That everything I was doing before was rubbish. That if I come back for 2 weeks, that she will not sign.
You see?
I ran. I did not come back, and my back was paining me. Sure, there's a spot at my back that was paining me because of carrying patients I'm not used to. So that spot, if I stress myself now, I still feel pain in that spot. At least I didn't go back for that 2 weeks. Then I found, by the grace of God, I met someone that led me to somewhere else, and I found a different job at a bigger hospital. Guy,
Mm-hmm.
babe, that was my first most rewarding moment of my life. Because when I got to that hospital, I didn't even have to discuss. Like the first day he called me for interview, gave me an appointment. As I came, there was a contract with my name on it and salary. I was like, I'm
Stuff
not
like
even
that.
recognized. I'm telling you, I was just like, I just came from somewhere that they were not even giving me transport money. And this guy just gave me a contract of 3,300 euros brutto contract. But he just said, so there's nothing to release because I can just sign and then I can come tomorrow and start. I'm like, so somebody can actually pay me for this, and
Someone
and
is
then
giving you for free.
yeah, and then that was what we call like spring apple, which means that you work in different parts of the hospital, so you don't have like a one station, you work in different parts. And that's what I wanted actually, because I wanted to be able to see everywhere and know where
Everything
I actually stay.
wants to be.
Yeah, so I did that for like a year. Towards the end of the year, COVID happened. But before COVID happened, my boss had already called me in one time and asked me that if there's a specific place I wanted to work at. I told him I don't really know. Nothing has really stayed with me because I wasn't really enjoying the nursing thing anymore because it was just too much hard work. And he was telling me I should try an emergency. I was like, no worry, that it's fine. After after that conversation, COVID happened. So because of
Mm,
COVID, and I worked with this Spring Apple unit, they said people from Spring Apple should go and fill up for COVID because
mm,
COVID is now a new station that people had to work in.
mm,
That was one of the most amazing things that happened to me, because for
mm,
that was now when I now realized that I actually have a thing for accident and emergency. But it took COVID to happen for me to push
realize that.
in that direction.
Wow.
And I've been in accident and emergency for the last 4.5 years, the longest I've stayed in any station. Four
Wow.
and a half years.
Wow.
So those are one of the times I felt like sometimes you just, if you just allow yourself to be pushed
Mm.
just a little, you might just
This
find out that something that
is
looks big
actually
is
where it
actually
should
not
be.
big.
Yeah, this is where it should be. That's amazing. I love to hear. I love it for you, really. So, how has your career progressed generally since you moved to Germany? And what would you say are some challenges that you've experienced? And I mean, career-wise, and some
Mm,
opportunities that have strengthened you professionally.
yeah. I think on my channel I've shared the story. I've shared a video about this career progress in Germany, especially for nurses,
Mhm.
because it's weird. It's not very straightforward. So if
Mm,
you're a clinical nurse, progress is very possible. Like you enjoy it
okay.
to an extent. You enjoy it to an extent, maybe to a moderate extent, because if you come in as a basic nurse, then you can get into doing other specialties and it's going to be paid for. You don't have to pay for it, and to be a beautiful thing for you if that's what you want, then it works.
Mhm.
But for people like us that are academic nurses, that doesn't necessarily feel like progress,
Mm,
because we are not looking forward to more specialty. We are looking
mm,
forward to more research. We are thinking of how does this thing work? How do we make this work? And
mm.
because of the way the nursing system in Germany is arranged, is not arranged. There is no, they don't have a body. Like how in Nigeria you have the nursing and midwifery council, in the US they have the NA.
Mm.
They don't have
Okay,
it here.
yeah.
They don't
Mm.
have one here. So there's hardly a body that is creating a career path for you. So
People are just
if you're
winging it.
talking about, yeah, so if you're thinking of career stuff here, I can't tell you about my own career progress right now, because to me, I feel because of my own goals, I feel like it's so much play too. It's not really too much. It's just
Mm,
work, get a qualification there. It's not really the
mm,
build that I would
mm.
prefer in my own career here.
I see.
And also considering the fact that here, to be a leader in the nursing, once you become a leader in the nursing sector, whether like flagged in slide, like what we call matron in Nigeria, once you
Mhm.
become that, you don't get to leave that position until you probably die, retire, get
Okay,
sick.
that's the highest point that you can get as a nurse.
Yeah, and once you get there, that's it. That's all.
No more promotion for you.
So where? Unless you're leaving the what they call it, the
Profession.
profession.
I
Yeah,
see.
and the people that get there just stay there. So it's not like this person is the leader for this season, and maybe after 5 years we change so that can experience new.
Mhm.
It's a lie. So
So once they are
it's
there,
not.
nobody can even get there while you're there.
Yes.
Ah,
So until that person gets sick, retires, or God forbid dies, nobody gets to, or that person leaves, that maybe gets a different job. Nobody gets to that point. So you can work in a station for 15 years and never get to lead.
nah, fam.
And all you are, yeah, so that's why I said that for someone whose goal is you like patient care, you want to do that, maybe you will enjoy that and you will flourish in it in Germany, because then there's lots of things to do in that area.
Mm.
But if you like to grow in career, if you're a career person, you like career, you want to grow, you want to be able to, Germany will not really,
Is it
really,
now? I
really.
want to just know: is it just a thing about Germany, or is it the same that you get abroad, like where you were in South America, or maybe in Nigeria? If you had an idea, like from matron, can your time expire and then another person comes, or is also there permanently and all that? How does it work in these sort of places?
So in other countries it's different, because in other countries, the more you advance in your learning, the more your rank increases.
Hmm,
Do you
that's how
get?
it should be. Yeah.
So as I'm learning, my rank should be increasing. So how will I put it? I do not need to be a flagged in slide. I don't need to be a matron to have the respect of a matron, or
Mm.
to have the experience or the audacity of a matron. The matron is just the leader. She's leading us. We'll all submit to that leadership. But it doesn't
It
turn me to
doesn't.
a pond.
Mm.
You get, it doesn't turn me to like a mini person in the, do you
Mm.
get? But here, if you like go and do masters, do bachelors, you just come back and just fall under that thing. So your leader can be someone who has less qualifications than you because of maybe politics move them there or experience move them there. So all you're learning, you'll just be like,
It's discouraging.
yes, yeah, it's quite discouraging. So if you want a different, unless you want to do a totally different thing, then you now leave it and then go and further on something else. Yeah. So that's how
Wow,
that, yeah,
that's a
it's quite
discovery.
frustrating.
That's a discovery, and that brings me to my next question. Seeing that you're um a nurse by profession in Germany, tell me and everyone else watching right now, what's that hard reality of being a nurse in Germany? Like, people paint it to be lucrative. I mean, foreigners paint it to be lucrative, and once they are nurses in Germany, it's like, oh, I'm the biggest, hottest thing in Germany since Angela Merkel or whatever. So, what are some pros and cons, and what's exactly the reality of being a nurse in Germany? Is it lucrative and rewarding as people paint it to be, and all that?
I think it's lucrative.
Okay.
I think being a nurse in Germany is lucrative. Your salary is comparable to Australia and these other countries you're hearing, you're like they pay great there. Your salary
Mm,
is actually comparable to some parts of the US. Your salary is actually comparable. Just
okay.
that the US is a capitalist country, so this hospital can pay 10,000. The other hospital just beside it is paying 100,000. So it's not
Mm,
standardized. So that's
mm,
where you might have really huge discrepancies.
mm,
But it's quite rewarding. And also considering that your training is for free, you don't have to pay for your training, so you don't have any debt after your training
mm.
is huge. Is huge. And even not just that it's for free, you get paid while
You
being
paid
trained.
while training, yeah.
Yeah, so it is a huge plus if you want to do nursing here. Yeah, and the job security is amazing. You can literally just walk out of your boss's office and enter the next hospital and get a job. It can be that easy. It can really be that easy to get a job.
Okay.
I think personally, I think that's a trade-off for having a career. The fact that you have a job stability, you
Mm,
have give up career for job stability sort of thing.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that those are the areas where we say that it's quite um and it's quite good and it's quite encouraging
Mm,
to do nursing here.
mm.
Even though there are the cons, like I explained, like the career part, you have a lot of issues there. But one thing that all the nurses that I have known that moved from Nigeria to this country, everything they all complain about is we have not had to do so much physical work in our nursing experience like we have had to do in Germany.
Really?
Germany nursing is physically intensive. Oh
Mm,
Jesus.
wow.
Like I wish I can tell you some stories. Like
Please
when you
tell
have
me
a
some
patient,
stories now.
my sister. The other day or that is, I guess he's still about 200 kg in weight. Think of 200 kg. Trust me, you don't know what he looks like. He's a mass of human being. And then there are just two of you to be. And this person is now so heavy that they can't carry themselves anymore.
Oh my
So
God.
you are doing the pushing, cleaning up, they are pulling on themselves, they are peeing on themselves because they really can't move. And then, oh God, he just is a gory. That's this particular site was a terrible site. The guy had very swollen genital areas. It was so swollen that ah, his genital areas could fit in a 2 liter bucket. It was, yes, and even more. Like I wish I could give some more explanation, and it was just messy. Okay.
What you guys are trying? Oh.
Or even I'm serious, and it was messy. It was messy. And then if you see all those kind of environments where we are coming from in Nigeria, and many of these other countries that have a systematic or a system like a nursing system, is that there are the staff nurses, like nurses that are doing the mental work of harmonizing the station, doing the nursing planning and nursing process, and then there are nursing assistants that help you with that kind of job.
Mm,
So I do not have to get water for the patient. I do not have
Mhm.
to feed the patient. I do not have to.
Mhm.
I need to dress the wound because I have the scientific knowledge for that. So
Mhm.
the wound that is smelly is not the worst thing that ever happened because I have scientific knowledge for that. I can give medication. I can help with other interventions and different things. I can do that. But you see those small things are what will actually steal your energy. Because then you bring the toilet stool today, then you're not gonna bring water, then you're not gonna do this one, then you're not gonna pay this one, you're not gonna make the call, you're not gonna by the time you're doing all of that, by the time you come back home, you're like, Lord, I'm
Really?
worn out. And the crazy part is that while you're doing all of that, it is very possible for you to not overlook but miss out on the patient's actual disease process. So while you're there bringing water, the patient's maybe electrolyte values are shooting up and you can't see it because you're not even on your computer to see what the laboratory has sent you. So
Mm.
maybe you only get to see it on your computer 3 times: in the beginning during handover, in the middle when you maybe are doing a maybe ward
Protocol.
round,
Mm.
and in the end when you're writing your reports. And it's at that end that when you're writing your reports, you now realize that, oh, this patient is quarter to passing out because you just saw their blood sugar is below 50. You didn't know all day because you were running around picking this from left and right.
Ah, wow.
It's the physical intensiveness that is the most annoying part. And I feel like it robs patients of quality care because how many doctors are in the
Mm.
station? Is it that one doctor that's going to check everybody?
Yeah, true that. Like I've noticed it. So the few times that I've been to the hospital, there are more nurses than there are doctors, right? And then the doctor just like comes in sparingly. The nurse is literally there 24/7 to check. You guys are doing a great job. I'm not gonna lie. Like being a nurse, my grandmother was a nurse and she was such an
Mm.
amazing one. So I know even when she retired, people used to troop into her house to get treatment from her. Some she would do for free, some she collect money. Really, it's bringing back a lot of memories. But then I just know that being a nurse, even though I know that so many people today are not doing nursing because they want to do it, they are doing it because of the money, the incentives attached to it. Yeah, but just a few people are doing it because they really have the passion for it. And when I see such people, it's amazing. It's really amazing. Man, ooh, what that imagination. Mm-mm. Have you?
I wish I took a picture of
No,
that patient's.
that wouldn't be. Oh my goodness, that wouldn't be nice if you did. Come on.
No, medically you can do that. Just
Okay,
don't
medically.
tag the patient on it.
Okay.
Don't relate it to basic like research. It's
Okay.
good to have those kind of, yeah. Woo!
You
It
guys
was
are
an
really,
experience.
you guys are really trying. I'm just like sitting here and doing a lot of mental, wow, you guys are trying. I can't even. And then I know that your holiday is not like you're not spontaneous. Like you have to plan your holidays and everything. You're not spontaneous.
Yes.
Just
So the holidays for next year are already been planned in October. So by October you plan your holidays for the whole of the next year. So
wow.
you forget about spontaneity.
And when that you know,
Unless
like, even though like nursing is not my thing at all, like anything that has to do with even to pop a pimple, they do me somehow to people. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. I took it from my mom. For someone whose mother was a nurse, my mother doesn't like all those kind of things as well. So the thing is that when I came to Germany, when people were saying, "Oh, go and do nursing," go and I was like, learning the language is not a problem. I can go and learn this language, but I don't think I want to do this. And then people were telling me then, hey, it's great, we don't pay you up. I see me that likes to just carry my bag up and waka. This nursing thing is gonna, you understand? Because I know people back then that were studying, like, they can't even spontaneously, waka and go. They have to plan their movement. And I really think, for me, I find it, for me, if I were to be in this profession, I think I would feel, what's the right word to use? Um, English don't be hard
in
person.
a cloth like
But yeah,
this tight
I'll feel
in a
like yeah,
box.
because I really one thing about me is that I love the power of flexibility. I love to be able to want to do something tomorrow, and I can do it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person I am.
But there is an opportunity for that in case somebody is trying to come to join us. It's not like your own life is locked down. There's an opportunity for that because as you grow in the profession, you can now decide how you want to work over time and then change your career prospect. So depending on there are places like if you can move, for instance, when I started in a Springer pool. In
Mm-hmm.
this Springer pool, you can do that thing. You can tell
Mm-hmm.
them, okay, next month, I really can't do next month. Let me be, I'll come back in 2 weeks, I'll come back in 8 weeks' time, and
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. The only issue is that you won't be getting paid, but then you have your
Of course, you will get
autonomy.
paid. Yeah, of course, I can imagine you will get paid.
Yeah, you get back your autonomy. And the more you grow into that, the more experiences you have, you can shift into bigger firms that actually
Mm,
lease you out as a nurse. So
mm,
you are now being leased out on your terms. So you can say, I can be here from 8 p.m. And sometimes you can choose to work with people in their home. So, like very sick people
mm,
who are home,
mm.
you can choose to work with them 8 hours a day. And you're just with them at home, spending time with them, and they're paying you per hour for being
Mm.
there.
That's nice. But then it's like
Yeah.
you're not being paid by the person, but by the agency, I guess. By an agency,
Yeah, the
by a
person is
hospital.
paying. Yeah, yeah. So the person is, depending on the level of care they're having, is either paying the insurance, or
Mm-hmm.
the insurance is paying the agency. The agency is paying you for being there in what they call it, a note situation, like an emergency
Emergency, yeah.
situation. Yeah, it sort of works like that.
Okay. And this thing they call travel nursing and all that, is it applicable in Germany as well?
Yeah, 100%, a
Okay, how does
hundred
it work?
percent. Like, yeah. So yeah, you just apply to them. There are a lot of them, big ones, small ones. You just apply to them, tell them that you're a nurse, these are your qualifications, and you would like them to you would like to walk around a certain area, maybe your own city, maybe the city around your friends. You can tell them the different cities you would like to be at, and they'll find you short-term jobs or medium long-term, like 6 months job, 6 months or 3 months job, 6 months, yeah, jobs in those areas, and we can go there. And in many cases, they also provide accommodation, so you don't have to worry about that.
That's
Yeah,
good.
there are those. Just that we advise you to do that after you've been in Germany for at least, as you've worked in Germany for at least 3-4 years.
So that you
Don't
have
jump in.
some kind of balance.
Yeah, and you have confidence, because then you are a loner.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to speak for yourself and
Mm-hmm.
defend what you're doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. But then travel nursing can also be outside of Germany, no?
I currently don't know any agency that takes you from inside Germany outside of Germany, because
Oh,
the labor laws here are different from other European countries.
I see.
So I don't know anyone that does that.
Okay.
For now, I don't know.
Um,
Mostly, if you want to do it in Switzerland, you apply in Switzerland, and Switzerland sends you around Switzerland, or
mm,
Germany sends you around Germany, so that your tax, because taxes are different,
yeah,
and
yeah,
to be very worrisome
yeah.
to have to pay tax twice because you worked here and worked here.
Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, you mentioned also that you know people that came into Germany from Nigeria, right? So,
Yeah.
what's like the best way, in your opinion, for people who would like to relocate to Germany via nursing Ausbildung or I heard now they are doing like nursing bachelors, right? So, what are their chances of getting accepted from outside of Germany? Are there steps to take which could increase their chances, and all of that good stuff?
Yeah. For the nursing house building, I feel like it's a giveaway for anybody who wants to come to Germany. I feel like it's an easy way to come to Germany,
Okay.
because the house building is not like what you have in many other parts of the country, where they expect you to have like your O level to have science subjects, and if you like do accounting in your O level, as long as you have a passion for the work and you
Mm,
can show, and maybe you've done some voluntary work here and there to impress them,
mm,
you most likely get it. The only issue is that the nursing school will not be able to transport you from your country here. So because
mm.
of it, they hardly, I've not said that it was possible, but they hardly give you, I've never heard that they give admissions outside Germany. But I know that there are countries that have, what they call it, agreements, like contracts. For instance,
Mhm. Yeah.
Kenya has those kind of agreements with Germany. So there are health agencies that can go into Kenya and shop for nurses. Do you
Okay.
get?
Okay.
So there are those kind of opportunities, but I don't think it's very possible. I think you should find a third party, and you have to have an agency to help you get it. On your own, they'll not respond to you,
Okay.
because yeah, you are a lot of work.
Okay. There has to be a third party generally.
Yeah, there has to be a third party. So find yourself an agency, find yourself a friend. In my own case, there was not an agency. It was my brother who
Mm-hmm.
helped me find a job. And you also asked what is the best way to move to Germany. I would like, if you're a nurse, I would advise get a job. I would advise do nursing hospital. Any other way might kind of stress you out, because some people are already considering this opportunity card visa. I don't really encourage it as much for nurses, because you lose more money than you're going to gain. I
Mm-hmm.
rather you just wait and get a job, because it is possible to get a job
Mm-hmm.
from outside
Okay.
Germany. It's just that you might need an agency to help you run it, because trust issues. Because of trust issues, the hospitals here need somebody they can trust on. Like I said, there's no nursing body that's organizing this thing.
Mm.
So an agency has to now stand in between employer and you
Okay.
to kind of separate what you're doing. Yeah.
I see. Okay. And speaking of agencies, do you know any personally? Just in case anyone watching is interested.
I Yes. So for the last 4 years, actually, I've been advocating for Gesundheit personal nets.
Okay.
They are the ones that brought in the nurses I know now that have moved from Nigeria here. There are two of them. I interviewed one sometime earlier this or last year, late last year on my channel.
Mhm.
I just interviewed another one this month. It should come out as soon as I can. I
Nice.
should I should upload that video. Yeah. So Gizinta Personal Nets, they help you get all of that done. They help you get your language course, prepare you for your test, help you get your documents translated, do the embassy runs for you to get your admission, your appointment on time.
Mhm.
They just help you speed and also get you an employer, and they
Mm.
get really nice employers. Like, I remember the first person, Chisom, when she came, Chisom got a job and an official car straight. Pew! I'm like, I've been in this country for how many years?
Whoa.
I'm not giving me car.
Whoa, that's big. That's
Straight
really
up.
big.
That's a big deal. Even though she wasn't driving the car home, it was a work car, but she
But
was
then,
driving everywhere. So as long as she was at work, she drove everywhere.
um,
I'm like,
and
what
then
am I doing in this?
do they get to fill the car for her? Or she fills it
Yeah,
herself?
it was an electric car. Why would she feel it's
Okay, it's
their
an
own car?
electric car.
Yeah, it was an electric car, but then it was the office's job to service the
To
car. Her job
service
was
the
just to
car.
come to work,
And
drive, go around, see her patients every day, and come
wow.
back home. I remember she'd be making videos on Instagram, dancing in her car. I'm like, you just came. Your pride is too much.
Okay, that's really
And
nice.
the other guy, Aliu, he came earlier this year. He has a nursing, anekenung job.
Uh-huh.
Nurse, flege in anekenung job, which is that he's still getting recognized. So he's not yet recognized.
Okay.
He's still in the process of getting recognized, and
Uh-huh.
they are paying him what I was paid as an entry nurse after my anekenung. It's like those people, they pay well.
Oh.
Like they actually get you really nice employers, and
Okay. Fair enough.
yeah.
Okay, then that means I don't know if anybody watching this is interested. I can just leave your Instagram handle and we can maybe write you a DM. I forgot to mention, guys, she's a content creator and she makes really nice, insightful videos regarding life in Germany as a nurse and all of that good stuff. So before now, I should have been popping up her handle, her YouTube name, so you can already subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. So yeah. And one last question. So what advice would you offer to new immigrants to help them navigate culture shock, overcome challenges, and basically just make the most out of their life here in Germany?
Yeah, I think what really helped me, I'll tell you what worked for me, is having a bigger picture in mind and not focus on petty stuff. So, for instance, somebody not answering my greeting in the morning is petty. It's not my business, not my problem. You don't have to answer me. Tomorrow I greet my man answer, you say it's cool. Like, those are petty stuff. Like, someone staring at you is very petty. You can as well just step back and both of you look at each other until you fall in love.
You
Like,
know? It's not that deep.
like there are really some petty stuff that if you focus on, you just have bad blood unnecessarily,
Yeah.
and that bad blood slows down your progress. So have a big picture. What's your big picture? For me, my first big picture was that most of what I did in my first year of living in this country, was paid for me. So somebody else's money I'm living on. So I felt like if this money finish, I better be able. And I remember my dad telling me, "Baby, you pay for the money." So my whole mind, I was like, Jesus, I have to pay back his money. So that was my motivation for
Yeah.
even though he has moved. I know he only said it because he wanted to encourage me to not play,
Yeah.
because it's not like about to get another one.
Yeah.
But then if you have a bigger picture in mind, like what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? Focus on the bigger thing. And then all the other small things, actually we were very petty. I came to work, my colleague insulted me. They did this petty.
Yeah.
Petty. Move on from it. This is not your country. Get used to it.
Very
If your country
important.
good, you will not be here.
Case closed. Case closed. Okay, that's really nice. And I mean, it was a very insightful session with you, Esther. Thank you very much for being a part of this. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys too for watching. I hope you learned one or two things. Don't forget to share this video. And first off, give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And if you've watched up to this point, then you're an OG. Thank you very much. Leave a comment and let's continue the conversation right there in the comment section. Can you relate to any of these things? Do you have any questions? Then let's continue talking down there. And don't forget to stay subscribed to both mine and Esther's channel. And I'm going to see you guys in another video. All right. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Ciao. Bye.